What's up, you guys? It's your boy Henry, ex-Goldman Sachs Wall Street trader, coming back with some really important information on Microsoft potentially buying popular social media app TikTok and some unusual option activity I see for August 7th expiration. Trump told a news reporter Friday that as far as TikTok is concerned, we're banning them from the United States. Chinese company ByteDance launched TikTok in 2017 and owns TikTok similar to how Facebook owns WhatsApp and Google owns YouTube. TikTok has grown more popular during the pandemic with 2 billion downloads as of April. Even crazier, the percentage of US-based TikTok users aged 18 to 24 fell from 41% in January to 35% in April, but rose 22% to 27% for 25 to 34-year-olds. So this app is no longer just for teenagers. In fact, the 35 to 44 age demographic grew from 13.9% to 17%. So I can say without a doubt, TikTok is taking over, and what I'm going to be covering in this video can potentially make Microsoft billions of dollars and even propel its stock beyond Apple's market cap this year. You're gonna wanna watch this video to the end because I'm also going to show a chart of the unusual option activity on Microsoft that I see, which you have to know about. I'm not going to waste any time in this video. Let's get into what I'm gonna be covering. Number 1, TikTok business. Number 2, why Microsoft executives are talking takeover right now as you watch this video. 3, what price you should pay. And if it's higher, don't invest in Microsoft. And lastly, I'm going to go over Microsoft options activity so you can be more informed. Let's talk business. TikTok could be separating further from its parent company, ByteDance, to allow it to continue to be used in the US. That's all because millions of people are worried TikTok will use the data and give it to China. Trump is very serious about this because the last thing we want is China to have data on the US social media behavior. That might give China the ability to manipulate our online consumption, and therefore Trump is ordering TikTok to sell their US operations. Trump basically is demanding the app be removed from the Chinese control. A number of companies have banned the use of TikTok on work devices as the app could be considered a security risk, and India recently banned a host of Chinese apps, including TikTok, pulling them from the Google App Store and the iOS App Store. President Trump has noticed these events and is very serious about potential security concerns, and as he should be, he has threatened to ban the app within the US, although the details of the exact mechanisms he could use to do so have not been made clear yet. The most logical move is something called a divestment. It just means that TikTok will be carved out of the ByteDance and sold to someone who is operating in the United States. And who better to buy and start competing with Facebook and Snapchat other than Microsoft? Microsoft is exploring the acquisition of TikTok operations in the US, according to a lot of experts. This type of deal would give the software company a popular social media service and also solve the problem of the Chinese data ownership issue. Let me explain why Microsoft purchase makes sense and why they are the most likely to get approved of such a purchase. Facebook, Apple, Amazon, and Alphabet fit the profile of a potential buyer, but here's the kicker. They're under antitrust scrutiny from the US regulators, which would complicate a deal. On the other hand, Microsoft has dabbled in social media investments in the past, but hasn't developed a popular service of its own. With TikTok revenue estimated to be $500 million in the US alone, that would be a top priority for Microsoft to really dominate big tech and lead the S&P 500 by a large market cap. Microsoft would love to have an app that has won over young people because it will really improve their customer age diversity and demographics. TikTok is not a traditional business and is quite different for Microsoft, but I think that is actually a strong positive for the company. I also think TikTok could give Microsoft a lot of data that they need to advertise better. I've personally seen ads for TikTok on Facebook lately. TikTok is now offering ad credits for new brands advertising on the platform. So that is just more reason Microsoft is probably sitting in executive meetings as you watch this video discussing their takeover plans right now. Let's quickly discuss what financial numbers you should look out for if there is going to be an offer being made. This is very important because even if Microsoft buys TikTok, it might be an awful deal if they overpay for the acquisition. That's why this section might be the most important. As a privately held company, there is no definitive value for TikTok. The future of such a viral social media app is also unclear, but I will definitely do my best to place a number on TikTok. How I look at it is TikTok has 500 million in US revenue estimated for 2020, according to the information. Taking a look at Facebook's price to sales ratio, it's right around 10. TikTok is probably growing faster than Facebook, but I'm not going to give it a higher price to sales ratio because I'm going to be conservative. So based on those two simple numbers, we have a $5 billion valuation. So now you know if Microsoft bids some nonsense like 10 billion, you know you should run. But if they bid 3 billion, you know what to do. You're about to get stupid rich. All right, we're going to wrap up with some options activity. I use many platforms like Thinkorswim, but for this, I'm pulling up Bar Chart. It's a really good website. I'm not sponsored by them, but I actually found them very useful. So I'm going to explain what we are looking at right here. All right, so here's Bar Chart. I'm going to be giving you guys a full explanation with as much detail as possible about call options and what is going on with the unusual option activity that I was talking about for Microsoft. I'm going to explain it to you just like a college professor does over 16 weeks, except I'm going to do it in just 5 minutes. Okay, so here we go. We have this expiration date. An expiration date just means that the option is going to be from when you buy it until that date, and on that date, you get to see what happens, and that is the final say in things. It expires, it is no longer existent. You get to either profit, make your money, or lose the money that you invested. That's all that means. And I'm looking at a near the money. What near the money means is because Microsoft is $205, they're picking all the options that are near the money, that are near the 205 strike. Let me fully explain what all of these things are. So starting from the strike, that is the price at which you are betting on the stock going to. So if it's a 210 strike, you expect it in terms of calls to go to 210. If it is a 215 strike, you're expecting it to go to 215. Fairly simple, right? Okay, now we have something called a bid and an ask. And basically that is the price that somebody's bidding on. They want to purchase this. And this is what someone is asking for in terms of what they want to sell it for. Usually 99% of the time when I trade options, it is the midway point. What do I mean by that? For example, let's take a look at the 210. It is really tight. This is amazing. This is exactly what I look for. The bid is 1.28, $1.28, and the ask is $1.30. That's a fantastically tight bid-ask spread. It's called a spread because it's between the bid and the ask, and that is the bid-ask spread. Now, 129 is the middle point, and that is what you will get paid or you will have to pay if you're buying this call option. Hope that was really simple. I'm gonna move over to what I was talking about with the unusual option activity. So what I really look for is the volume. Just like shares of stock have volume, which means how much those shares are being traded, options also have volume very similar to stocks, and they're also traded similarly to stocks. So taking a look at the volume, you can see that it is very low here, and that's because Microsoft isn't really close to $182. This is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the strike here, and I'm looking at the volume here. And if I keep going down, I see, wow, there is a whole bunch of volume here at the 205, which in options lingo and options terms on Wall Street, we say this is an at the money option. At the money means that this is 205 and the stock price is around 205. So that is what I mean by at the money. So there's a whole lot of volume here, which is great. That's good. That's a bullish indicator. So now what I really want to say though is although the volume is fantastic for the 205, what I'm actually looking at and what I see that is unusual is right here going over to the open interest. And what open interest means is how many of those total contracts or those total options have been traded thus far. And what I mean by that is 2,700 contracts have been traded today, but this is how many are open. And it is the highest volume of open interest. It is the highest open interest for any of the options for Microsoft for the expiration of August 7th. So that is really unusual to me because that is in about 6 days from now. I'm recording this on, what day is it? It is Saturday. I put in so much time into YouTube that I forget what day it is. I just love every day making these videos for you guys. So that is going on Saturday, and that's only 6 days away. So in 6 days, it's going to expire. And 220, just to put into perspective, 220, and let's see how far that is from current prices. So if you take 220 and you divide it by 205, investors expect that this stock will go up at least 7%, at least. And hopefully I'm sharing my screen, but either way, you take 220 and you divide it by 205 and you get a 7% upside. I mean, that's what they're expecting at the very least to break even on their option. And that's not even breaking even because you guys know, like I said, you still have to pay a premium if you're buying call options. So this is what I see that is really unusual. Not only is the volume very good, but the open interest is extremely high. I really am thinking that Microsoft will make some moves and will take a position in TikTok, and they're gonna have that type of announcement potentially this week. But again, guys, if someone says something's gonna happen 100% for sure, they're lying to you. You have to run, because there's just no way anyone, not even Warren Buffett, can predict exactly what will happen. But I'm just telling you guys, there is a possibility, and it is somewhat likely based on this unusual option activity. Now, I'm going to move over from explaining this chart, and I hope I explained it really well. The only thing I really didn't explain is the IV, which stands for implied volatility. And that is important because something that I do is I trade options and I sell options and I collect premiums. And I do look at implied volatility because basically implied volatility makes options more juicy. The higher the implied volatility, the more expensive options are, because options, the pricing comes from the time and the volatility. And I'm really hoping that I'm not getting super complicated here. I don't want to make this like super technical. And I'm going to just slow down from this point and just see what the feedback is from you guys. I've gotten great feedback in terms of you guys are super hungry for option knowledge. So I'm going to leave it there. I'm going to summarize it real quick. So strike is the point of price, the price that you're aiming for. So this is the strike. In terms of Microsoft, me personally, if I was trading and I was bullish, I would be buying call options, which I usually don't do because I'm an option seller. But there's nothing wrong with buying options if you are very confident about a stock. That strikes, we talked about bid and ask spreads, we mentioned implied volatility, and then I gave you guys the difference between volume and open interest. Volume is how much you are trading today, like what happened today in volume, and open interest is just generally how many contracts are available. And this is very similar to how shares of stock have volume, and then they also have a float. A float is similar to open interest in terms of how many shares are available. Okay, we're gonna move over from bar chart, which is pretty cool, and they also have a whole bunch of stuff on the side. I wish they sponsored me, but this is totally for free. I'm just using them. I can say that they have a very good platform for just doing some research. I do a lot of other stuff like naked options and option spreads and covered calls. And I see there's a lot of people joining the Patreon, which I'm very happy about. And I'm going to be posting this type of information, this type of option stuff over at Patreon. I'm actually going to make that post probably on Tuesday. I'm going to post 2 things along the lines of options, helping you guys more with this stuff. Moving over to Robinhood. So I just want to show you guys that I walk the walk. I don't just talk the talk. This is my options positions. I'm not going to make this like a 40-minute, 30-minute video. I'm going to keep this short and simple. You can take a look at all these option positions I have here. This is one of my trading accounts, but I really just wanted to show you the Microsoft option that I have and explain Microsoft. Yes, I have Tesla, and I have American Airlines and Boeing and Square and Facebook and Slack. I have a whole bunch of good stuff here. I want to focus on one thing. I have way too much to talk about. So we're just going to click here on the Microsoft. I liked Microsoft, and I actually didn't know that this type of TikTok takeover stuff would be happening. This is a very last minute video, just like I did for Apple with the stock split. But essentially what I did it was on Friday, I believe. Let's go take a look. July 31st. Yeah, so that was Friday. I sold a put. And what that means is I am committing myself to buying 100 shares of Microsoft if Microsoft were to fall below 197.5. That means I would have to outlay $19,750, and I would be happy with that because Microsoft is $205, as we mentioned, $205. So I'd be happy to buy it at 197.5. And just for waiting, just for saying, hey, stock market, I'm going to purchase at 197.5. And not only am I saying that, I'm getting paid, guys. I got paid $105 for literally doing something that I want to do anyways. I literally want to get put to stock. I'm hoping that it goes down so I can buy some more. And I got paid $105 for doing that. So it's literally one of the best strategies. Now, it does take significant capital. I've been doing this for 7 years. I've been very frugal with my money. And I'm looking to retire early. I want to retire early, and I want to focus on YouTube. So yes, I have a good amount of capital, and this is a very capital intensive strategy. But that being said, guys, I will show you how to do these put options and how to sell them on less expensive stocks. If you guys want to see that video, let me know in the comment section below. I will make a video on selling puts on stocks that are under $25 per share. And I will try to pick some very safe stocks for you guys to collect money on cheaper stocks, basically, because I know not everyone has $19,750 laying around. Very simple explanation is when you sell a put, you commit yourself to buying shares if they fall, and you get paid for doing that type of activity. That's all it is. It's not that hard. The main thing is that could confuse a beginner is I am selling a put. I am shorting a put. I am not buying a put. That's why this amount is negative. I am shorting or selling and giving someone else the opportunity to give me the stock if it were to fall. Again, I said I would be very happy if that were to happen. Without making this video too long, I know I probably said that already a couple times, but I've already made $34 on this position. I've probably did it around, I don't know what time, probably towards the end of the day, 3 o'clock. So in 1 hour, I earned $34. I mean, for some people, that's amazing. I mean, $34 kind of just trading at your computer. This is really fun. This is very exciting, is phenomenal. And I do expect to make the full amount, to make the full $105 in a week. And I have many of these option positions open. So you guys can see how you can start making a very full-time income trading options if you do it right. Oh, sorry, my voice. I'm talking too much. I'm gonna pretty much end it there. If you guys want more, join Patreon. I will post more content there. Also, check out, there's a couple links in my description. I'm gonna have a very small mentorship group because I really wanna answer more questions. I really wanna be more hands-on with you guys. And I think that's only going to happen if we're kind of on a live call and I answer questions. So I'm going to have a little mentorship group. Feel free to put in your information and I will send you a Zoom link, and I'm going to be on Zoom with you guys. I'm going to only have availability, I think, for 5 to 7 people. I'm not going to make the group big because I hate big groups where it's harder to learn. I want to be more hands-on and personal. So go ahead and check that out in the description. I'm going to go back to this video and I'm going to wrap up. And thank you so much for, if you got through this part, I hope that it was very insightful, and a lot more option stuff coming soon. If you guys enjoyed this, give it a like, share it with some friends, because yeah, I went over the 5-minute timeline, but at the same time, this is information that literally I think I learned over 7 years. I've spent tens of thousands of dollars, and yeah, this is exactly what I learned on Wall Street. I mean, to get this type of information, I don't even see this type of information anywhere. So I'm hoping that I'm sharing the most insightful, good knowledge with you. I'm gonna stop ranting. I'm gonna end it there. Let's keep going with the video. I hope you guys found that option analysis helpful. As you can tell, I'm really bullish on Microsoft now, and the option information does tell me a lot about the sentiment. I'm going to have a small coaching group of 4 people each on Tuesday, where I'm going to focus on mentoring and not uploading a video that day. One group will be investing for beginners, and the other will be intro to options trading on a Zoom conference call. Link to Calendly and booking your session in the description. If you guys have any questions or video suggestions, please drop a comment. Otherwise, I'm looking forward to working with a few of you closely, and I'm going to be spending Tuesday morning researching and posting unique content to help everyone improve their investing skills and knowledge over at Patreon. I'm still new to Discord, but I have a link and it's free for my community to discuss ideas and just connect with each other. Other than that, I will be back soon with more videos that will flood your pockets with money. My only goal is to improve everyone's lives and educate my YouTube family on all the knowledge that I received from my finance degree and experience on Wall Street. There is only one more thing that is actually required of you, and that's be aggressive in learning, but invest safe. Give me that strong fist bump.